That is what the intent of Apeejay Karmayuga is, inspiring solid character. Coincidentally, we also launched Karmayuga at the Park Hotel in Hyderabad in 2011, and now it's become Apeejay Karmayuga. At that time, we didn't know Karan Paul. Karan and Renu, who kind of leads the CSR practice at Apeejay Group, were introduced to us by a dear friend, a civil servant called Rockton, as we call him, who's right now fighting for his life because he's battling cancer. And he said you should look into the work which Apeejay Group is doing. And when we looked at their work, we realized that this was not just CSR. This was humane capitalism at its best, because it was a part of their business model. And then I met Karan, I think over a year ago. We first met properly for lunch, and I liked what I listened to when I was having a conversation with Karan, because we didn't speak about profit. We spoke about social values and social responsibility throughout that entire lunch. The other is, I basically am a leadership coach and a management consultant, and I work with a lot of CEOs who don't go beyond profit. And here was a person who was not talking about profit, and I said, you're a socialist. And he said, no, I'm a capitalist, but I have studied Marx and I do understand social values. And I was like, that's where the ethos met. So thank you, Karan, for finally kind of agreeing, and it's been a long journey and we've come together now. And it's going to be a long journey together. This is a joint venture. It's not like some funding support or a CSR initiative. It's a joint venture. It's a personal mission. It's a mission of two organizations who come together. And it's going to be a mission of many more organizations coming together. So what is the mission? The mission is to inspire solid character. And the character, they say, comes out from consciousness. Now, all our holy books teach us moral values. But if you see the education system today, especially in India, I won't talk about the world, I'll talk about India first. Most schools and colleges have no moral education anymore. Every school and college which imparts education only focuses on one thing, which is career. The entire concept of education at homes has become, if you don't get a good education, you won't get a good career. If you don't get a good career, you won't be able to afford the BMW. That's what education has got reduced to. I know career is very important, but it has to be career with character. If that character is missing, you get petty games in the office also, which is what I see all the time. Because that basic character is missing. Now, how can a country be a democracy when people don't fulfill their duties and don't understand moral values? The character is gone, right? Now, consciousness, the holy books say, the Bhagavad Gita says, that consciousness is understanding the suffering of others. It's nothing else. Don't wait for the suffering to happen to you. We need to understand the suffering of others. We don't need to wait for a rape to happen to our wives or our daughters. We need to see what's happening in the world today. There's a rape happening every day, not one, many. Some of them are reported, some of them are not. Now, every time a rape happens in this country, I hear people saying on Facebook and in their rhetorics about how rapists should be hanged. By all means, hang them. Right? That's a good deterrent, maybe. But what about teaching respect for women? Which is missing in our country. We don't have respect for women. And this is not just a rural India problem where you have honor killings. This is an urban India problem. Most people don't respect their wives. Now, fundamental duty number 5 very clearly says, renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women. Every practice in this country which gave this wisdom is derogatory to the dignity of women. If you don't know it, how will we practice it? Right? You have female feticides which are not the highest in Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan. Those are numbers. The percentage is highest in South Bombay and South Delhi. Educated women killing their own child because she's a girl. This is fact, not fiction. Right? So how can you have respect for women? I was born in a place called Goa, and in Goa we follow Portuguese law. The Portuguese law says that every woman has equal right, which means my sister has equal right in the property. I have yet to hear a brother in Goa say that my sister has equal right in the property. What I hear them say is, I'm giving you, no, be happy. Who are you to give? Nobody. It's like giving charity. I believe in social justice, not charity. Social justice simply means fairness. And I always joke about this. I always say the only concept of fairness we have in this country is fair and lovely, fair and handsome, and now fair armpits. Otherwise, fairness is not there. So, this is what we need to do. We need to build some model character, we need to inspire solid character in schools, starting from schools, colleges, in companies, and that's what we are planning to do. We are planning to go, because I believe that there's a hero in everybody, lurking within us, asleep probably. We need to awaken that hero. And to be a hero, you don't need to do big things, you need to do small things with extraordinary love. And those small things would make the big difference. Because if you really want to change this country, each of us needs to do that small thing. And what we're planning to do now is go into several institutions, which Meenu will tell you about, and create collaborative awards programs, because we want to find heroes in several spaces. Because when all those heroes, all their energy comes together, you'll have huge synergy for change. And that's the intent basically. So I'll ask Meenu to come up and speak about what's the process and how we're going about doing this.
As we've been hearing, the Apeejay Karmayuga is all about inspiring solid character in people. It's very important for the society to realize it. Every individual in the society to realize that there is a hero within each one of us. And when we tap that potential, our own potential to emerge as a hero, we inspire a lot many people around us. Yes, it is very important to realize our own individual social responsibility, but true nation building will happen only when the entire energy of ISR comes together. Then we will see a real change setting in the society, and that's what will lead to nation building. So when we were thinking about Karmayuga, about Apeejay Karmayuga, what we thought was that we have to reach far and wide, and for that we integrated 3 parallel outreach plans in the Karmayuga concept. We'll be collaborating with a lot of institutions to create joint awards program collaborations. We'll be going to each and every sort of organization, be it industry, corporates, educational institutes, village panchayats, RWAs, housing societies, schools, colleges, everybody. We are targeting everybody because we want every individual to realize their own potential. So we'll be going to the organizations and we'll be creating joint awards collaborations with them. So we started our Right Every Wrong movement around 9 years back, and we started giving Karmavir Puraskar. But in 2008, at the behest of the UN, we started Karmavir Chakra to award people for their voluntary and selfless actions. And this award has become globally recognized and well established over the past 8 years. And this is what we will be awarding all our citizen heroes. We say that everybody who rises up and takes an action to right or wrong around them is a citizen hero. So we will be awarding all our citizen heroes with Karmavir Chakra, and we are offering the organization a collaborative award program whereby we will be instituting we will be asking them to initiate categories to motivate their own stakeholders to do something for the society. The organizations are at a liberty to choose what they want to initiate the award for, because everybody is passionate about some cause. So they might pick up the cause dear to their heart, and they might want to encourage their stakeholders to do something, to rise up to the challenge and take action and emerge as true heroes. And these will be called the collaborative Karmavir Chakra Awards, and these will become the internal awards for each organization that collaborates with us. And we have also instituted Silver Karmavir Chakra and Gold Karmavir Chakra, which are being given out exclusively under Apeejay Karmayuga. So all the Bronze Chakra awardees, the Bronze Chakra awardees are the awardees which are awarded under the collaborations, under the joint collaborative award program. And all the bronze awardees will be nominated for the silver and the gold chakra, and a jury will be set up by Apeejay Karmayuga to select the final 100 silver awardees and 10 gold awardees every year. So this is the collaborative awards program that we've initiated, and we also need support from a lot of people. So we have identified people who are embodiment of ethics and integrity, and who have shown a lot of who've been role models in their lives, and they have agreed to support Karmavir Chakra and be the official spokesperson for it wherever they go. And this comes under the Ambassador Evangelist plan under Karmayuga. And we are glad to say that a lot of people who are ambassadors for us are also past awardees, and they are sitting with us today. And we thank each one of them for lending their support to this program. Another plan that we have is the evangelist plan. These are people who are self-driven people and who want to add their force to our quest to recognize heroism in India. And these people will be working with us as an extended team to take the message of Karmayuga far and wide. And these are the people who are going to help us actually democratize heroism. And a lot of our evangelists are also with us today here. So we thank all of them for their support. And I'm sure that with the support of all the collaborative partners, all the ambassadors and all the evangelists, we are going to succeed in the mission that we set out for. Thank you so much.
In the past 9 years that we've been kind of organizing the Right Every Wrong campaigns and the Karmayuga Awards, we've not really called for a press conference. So whatever media has happened has happened because of the award recipients, and this is the first time we're actually having a proper media gathering. So I would like to tell you a little history, in very brief, without taking too much time. We first instituted the award, we started planning in 2003, but we first instituted the award in 2006. And our first Lifetime Achievement Award recipient was Dr. Kurian, who I think is the biggest hero this country has ever seen. After democracy probably, and probably before democracy also. So I think the kind of opportunity that he has created for several people, very, very selflessly, because Dr. Kurian didn't die a very rich man, though he created a lot of wealth for a lot of people, right? And when I spoke to Mrs. Kurian after his death, I was very overwhelmed when she told me that in the press release that was sent out, based on Dr. Kurian's instructions, the Karmayuga Puraskar was mentioned and not any other award. Because he said, Dr. Kurian said that this is one award you don't need to lobby for with any political or social faction. You can just get this award by doing something good. And I'm happy that I was chosen as the first Lifetime Achievement Award. So that puts a huge burden on us to kind of, really keep those values strong. So we're very, very kind of particular about whom we give this award to and who we associate with for this award, right? So that's a little history about the award. Over the years, we've given the award to several people from all sectors. So you have a prince and a princess from overseas who's got the award. You have a slum worker from Howrah who's got the award. You have a sex worker who's got the award. So the award is very egalitarian. It's not about your stature. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if you're a CEO or a minister or a bureaucrat. What matters is what are you doing to make a difference, right? Some of our award recipients are on the stage with us. Karan himself is our award recipient. Yeah, for the work that he's doing through his business to promote social responsibility. You have Shubha Ranjan, who's director with the CII, the Confederation of Indian Industry, but she's not got the award because she's a director with CII, she's got an award because of what she's doing to make a difference in society again. And we have, of course, Dr. Debashish with us, who is the founder of the Institute of CSR, which is going to kind of promote CSR in a very, very novel way in this country. He's not an award recipient, but I think he's worthy of an award, so we should nominate him. And maybe everybody over here is worthy of an award, as long as they're doing something to make a difference in society. So having said that, I'll call Shubha to speak about what does the Karmayuga Award mean to her and what does it kind of really, kind of made her responsible for going forward after she received the award. What does Karmayuga?
Thank you, Jerry. Friends of the dais, Karmayugis. That's a very difficult question. What does it mean to me? I think it means everything to me because I never expected the award. Whatever I did, I just thought I was doing it as a citizen of India, as something that I felt good doing. But if I have a second, I don't have much time, I know, but I'd just like to give a background of myself. Then you will understand why I did all these things. I am not what I look. I'm a victim of a civil war of Africa. We were kidnapped, we were shot. My husband was shot. I lost everything in a place called Liberia in Africa. I came penniless to this country with two tiny children. One of them is grown up and sitting here and has won the award. In the 90s, with not a penny, we came to Delhi. And Delhi can be both a very cruel society and a kind, and I'm from Kerala, I don't speak a word of Hindi, from a very rich family, but I struggled, I slept in the railway station, I slept in barsatis, and I made it from from the very bottom to where I am today, totally by hard work and facing a lot of humiliation and facing a lot of obstacles. I made it to where I have made it today. Today I'm not ashamed to speak about it in public. There was a time I may not have spoken about it, but it made me want to return back to society. Today I want to give back to the many people who were kind to me in my struggle upwards. To the 10 people who were cruel to me, there were another 5 who were wonderful to me. And these people could have been a slum dweller, an auto rickshaw driver, a chowkidar, a peon in the Udyog Bhavan, or a minister, or a head of a state. Because today I wine and dine with almost every head of state. But I never forget that there was a time I did not even have a cup of tea, and it was the peon in the Shastri Bhavan who gave it to me and gave me a shawl to wrap myself. So giving me this award has meant that I should do much more for society and return back to society. I'll just give 2 small examples and then I'll close it. I work in the Tihar jail with inmates, especially with foreign inmates, because I have lived in a foreign country and I know what it is to be in a country when fate is not in your hands. So there are more than 400, 500 foreign inmates in Tihar jail, which very few people know about, and most of them are Africans, and I lived in Africa. And it was the Africans who helped me to escape when I was caught and kidnapped there. So this is my way of returning back to society, by helping the Africans who are caught in jail, and the judiciary is such, the judicial system, that many of their cases have just languished there. So there are people who are caught with this much of whatever, and they're there 15 years, 20 years. There's a Canadian guy who's been there almost, and your heart breaks when you see him. I mean, they just so badly want to go back to their countries, but they are caught. So one instance was a lady called Becky, she was half Zimbabwean, half Nigerian, and she was caught for something very small, and she was put in Tihar jail and treated, the rest of the inmates did not treat her too well. And she became wild, she used to bite the other inmates, nobody could control her. At that time, the Director General was one Mr. B.K. Gupta, and one day he called me and said, Shubha, you lived in Africa, can you deal with Becky? I said, sure. I went to Becky and she was hostile, terrible. Then I reached out, I started hugging her, I started touching her, and little by little, Becky mellowed. And I realized that all she wanted in life was a little bit of love, a little bit of affection, a little bit of motivation, and telling her she was a good human being. Becky metamorphosized. In the few months I spoke and loved her, I called her my sister, and she became the role model of the Tihar jail, and she became an inspiration. And she became an inspiration to the other inmates. She used to help, a lot of women come pregnant to I hope you all know there are children in Tihar jail. They live till the age of 5 when they are born in Tihar jail, because they can't go out after that. So there's a creche in Tihar jail where I work with the children of Tihar jail. So Betty helped in looking after the children. She started cooking, she became an angel. Everybody loved her, she became a heroine. So what I'm trying to say is, you don't need heroes from Kargil War and Second World War. You can have a heroine in the Tihar jail from a woman like Becky, who everybody had condemned, but she had goodness inside her, and when we showed her goodness and told her what a wonderful person she was, she blossomed and became the most wonderful inmate Tihar jail ever had. She died recently, and she had a beautiful funeral, and I felt a part of me when Becky died, because in my own way, I felt this was a small way I had returned back to society, that I could make a human being out of somebody who was completely condemned. And I'll end by one small story of another little girl who is the daughter of a leper family. I used to work in the leper colony in Africa, the only lepers town in the whole world. I used to work with the lepers there. And here I work with the lepers in Arkepuram. There's a colony there. And there's a lady called Ma Shama who is looking after the girls of the lepers. So there was this little girl whose parents were lepers, and she was again being condemned. And when one picks up this little girl, give her love and make her realize that, listen, you may be the daughter of lepers, that doesn't make you an untouchable. You're beautiful the way you are. Give her some confidence. That girl is now going to join IIT. She has blossomed out and she's become so confident. All she needed was to be told, hey, don't worry. We give you the confidence. The world is not such a bad place. And now she helps all the other leper girls who are there and gives them confidence. So with these two little stories, I want to end. There are tons, my own experience, there's tons, but I think Jerry is going to be kind enough. He's put my little story in his book. You're right, Jerry? So you can read it. It's called One Tea Bag. It's what my daughter wrote about at a time when we had nothing to drink. We used to share one tea bag among us. For 1 week, we used to dip the tea bag in one packet of biscuits because we had nothing else to eat. So my daughter has written a book called One Tea Bag, and a little story which has been published here. But I'd like to end by saying by end of this year, I'm bringing out my memoirs, my struggles. It's a motivational story, and I'm sure Jerry will be there to launch it for me. But I would like each one of you to buy a copy, because it's not a story of self-pity, it's not a story of struggle, it's a story to motivate each one of you that I can do it today and be here and talk in front of you. Each one of you can do it one day, and maybe you've already done it. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Shubha. Shubha is not only one of our award recipients, but she's now going to be a Karmayuga ambassador also. And as our Karmayuga ambassador, she's going to basically speak about the need to inspire solid character in all the places where she works and help us to kind of create those collaborations. Yeah. We have another award recipient. We have baby Benzi, who will be coming up later and baby is a very special child. No, we don't need it now, Kavita ji, yeah, but I was just talking about baby. Very, very dear. She's been our ambassador for iCombo, because when iCombo started, we didn't take any celebrities as ambassadors. We took 4 children as ambassadors. And so if children can make a difference, why can't we, the grown-ups? And baby Benzi has been making a difference in this world with her music. She works with other special children and helps them to live a life of dignity. So I will now call upon Dr. Debashish, who is one of our collaborative partners, to talk about why there is a need to inspire solid character.
Thanks, Jerry. It's marvelous. Simply, I worked almost a decade in an organization where Shubha works. And a lot of times used to talk either adjacent to the staircase or some lobby here or there in the office. I never knew that such a great person that we used to rather, we were always with the gang and talk. Thank you, Shubha. Great, it's a learning. This is one of the most inspiring things that, and it's another learning. Knowingly, certain things, or maybe unknowingly, certain things, it doesn't come to us. It's another example of Shubha. What is the interesting part? Today I came late. In between I was SMSing to Venu, and really I forget what is the Venu, where it is actually. I'm talking an institutional issue. Just I'll give 2-3 examples. 3-4 years back, one of the, rather 5-6 years back, one of the horrible things happened in Delhi was the ROC murder case. ROC's parents are in jail. And somehow the other way, it touched upon, and I was searching that what is the institutional issues out of it. adolescent girl child. And it's been totally come out in a different shape altogether. That India as a country do not have any institutional mechanism to combat or to address the issues related to adolescent girl child. Some or the other way, I'm really thankful that Apeejay is here, in academics and particularly the school system. Then NCW agreed to commission that intervention. We did 100 schools surveyed in Delhi across different strata, different geographical areas, that is in NCR, and simultaneously different type of language schools, some in Kannada, Bangla, in that way. In Delhi we have this type of schools. We came out with the model that toolkit, and 2-3 years it was lying with the system. And today NCW issued that later that yes, it is a model which should be implemented through the school system